Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and I'm going to be talking today about Ghostbusters 2016. So I went to see this on opening night, like Thursday before I guess Thursday is the opening night now, because normally it's Friday, but we went to see it right away on Thursday. I went with my wife, and I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was great, and in fact, I actually thought it was better than the original. So why do I think Ghostbusters 2016 is better than Ghostbusters 1984, I believe? The reason why is several reasons. So I thought the weapons were just fantastic. So the weapons were way better. There was a wider range of weapons that were used to not just capture ghosts, but to destroy ghosts. And so I thought that was really good. And that just went into the second part that I thought was better, which is way more action. So there was just more action in the film. There was more combat against the ghosts, and that combat was much more innovative, which I thought was pretty cool. I like that, right? I am an action movie fan. I definitely understand. Well, yeah. So I thought that was very, very good. So better weapons, better action, right? The other thing I really liked was Melissa McCarthy. Her character, character's last name was Yates, and I think Melissa McCarthy is she's a longtime favorite of mine as an actress. I've seen the majority of her work, especially in film. I started watching her in Gilmore Girls when she was a chef at the hotel in Gilmore Girls. She was very, very funny there. And more than funny, but I think one of the reasons why I really like Melissa McCarthy is I think she's the kind of actress that can really put in a lot of humor, but she can carry major storylines. And she served as an anchor for this film, right? So I think she was the big star in this movie, and I thought she brought that Hollywood weight, that freight to the character, and really I thought her acting kind of raised up the acting of all the other actors, because just she's been around. She has a lot of experience in film. She has a lot of experience on television, and I just really felt that she was the anchor of this film. I think she's a great comedian, and I've really felt that for a long time. But in this film, I thought it was clear that Melissa McCarthy is purely a better comedian than Aykroyd or Murray or Ramis or the gentleman who played Zeddemore. And so Hudson. His last name is Hudson, and so she's just a better comedian than any of them. And that was clear in the film, right? And I think one of the things too is you're seeing her come to fruition, and it was just really exciting. I really liked it a lot. Really enjoyed the film. What else did I think was better? Oh yeah, definitely. So I thought that in this film, you really got a sense that the Ghostbusters were friends, right? And one of the reasons why I like this was Melissa McCarthy's character. She was angry toward Kate. I think it's Catherine Wigg, and her character. Her last name was Gilbert. So the Yates character was really kind of bitter about the Gilbert character studying ghosts with her, and then kind of going off and leaving the whole ghost thing behind. And so they had this real problem in their friendship, which is, but then as they began to study these ghosts and do the work of being Ghostbusters, their friendship was solidified fairly quickly. And then also the friendship between the characters, between Holtzberg and between Gilbert and between Yates and between Tolan. And I'll just explain who those were. Leslie Jones played Tolan. Great job. Holtzberg was McKinnon. And she did a really good job. I've seen her on SNL. She's a funny lady. And then I think it was Catherine Wigg played Gilbert, and then of course Melissa McCarthy played Yates. So but Tolan and Holtzberg and Gilbert and Yates, they just really did a great job of actually showing the friendship between them. And I really like that a lot because I was not a big super fan of Bill Murray in the original film. I have never liked people who use sarcasm to belittle people, and I know it's entertaining for some people, but I don't like seeing it on screen. I definitely don't like seeing it in the real world. I don't like seeing it in professional environments. You run across sarcasm a lot. I know it's a real favorite of a lot of people, but I definitely just not a fan of sarcasm, and definitely not a fan of sarcasm where you use that sarcasm to belittle people. And I thought Murray's character really did that across the board. Venkman, he belittled not only the Ghostbusters around him, but almost everybody he came across. And then, it turned out he was kind of a hound dog, towards Sigourney Weaver's character. I don't understand why we were supposed to like him. I never got that in the film. So the anchor of the film was Bill Murray in the first film. The anchor of this film is Melissa McCarthy, and she's just a much more likable character, right? And so, because she establishes a team right away, begins leading that team, and then also the communication of the Ghostbusters team, the way they practiced together, the way they got their vehicle together, and there was just so much more communication, and you could see them communicating as a team. And in order to do this incredibly, what's arguably a deadly practice, I feel like you need to be firing on all cylinders. You need to have, a good communication base for your team. And this movie showed that, right? I thought it took the ghosts more seriously in this movie. The ghosts were dangerous, and, it was just very good. I really like that a lot. The other thing were some of the jokes in it were just fantastic. I really liked the Point Break reference, and then also the soup joke where, so basically there's Yates. She likes to order from this Chinese restaurant, but they always short her, like they give her one noodle and one wonton in her soup. And it happens like several times where she gets this soup and it's just almost all like just juice, and there's no actually meat in it. There's nothing really to eat in it. And it was just so funny. And it was a very funny recurring joke through the movie. And then at the end, when they make good and they've, saved the city, the delivery boy, who did a great job in the film, he's really funny as well. He brings her a whole, wonton tub where there's just it's just wonton with a little bit of juice in it, which I was like, wow, that it was really funny. It was heartwarming. That's my point is, I felt there were moments that were heartwarming in this movie, right? So, the other thing that I thought was really interesting was there was genuinely scary parts of the movie. There were some, classic jump scares. And I thought they were pretty scary. I mean, there was especially in the beginning when you see your first ghost, and they have this closed door situation, and door opens and going down into the basement. It's just really good. It was an excellent job. The other thing I really liked was just seeing New York. I'm a big fan of New York, and they did a great job of showing New York, and it was great. What else did I really like about the movie? So I'm a huge Melissa McCarthy fan. I think I really felt I needed to pay props to her because she anchored this film. I'm not sure they would have been able to make this film if there wasn't a big star of her import in it. But I thought Leslie Jones really kind of tied her. I thought Leslie Jones was really just perfect in the film. Just really added a lot of flavor, a lot of New York flavor. A lot of character. Leslie Jones is firing on all cylinders here, and I'm really, really happy to see her star rise. I think she's a great actress, great comedian, and they used her really well in this film. It was also really neat to see the cameo at the end with Ernie Hudson and playing her uncle. And where they got the hearse, right? And it's just really cool. It was really nice. So I really had a great time seeing this movie. I do think it's a better film than the original. And then also, I am excited because I think this is going to be a good foundation. I am speaking before I see the numbers, but I'm calling it now. This is going to be a success. I think on Monday it's going to have made, I'm going to call it 80 million, right? And I think overall it's going to make enough to get a sequel. The one thing the one piece of information that may prove me wrong is the movie was denied entrance into China. That's rough. That is going to mean $150 to $250 million off of the top of the film. That is really rough. And one of the things it means is going to be outrageously difficult, if not impossible, for this movie to make $1 billion. And that's rough because this is they're swinging for the fences. This is a big blockbuster film. And there's a lot on the line. And I think there are a lot of people who care about this film. And they wanted it to do well, and I just don't think it's going to be able to reach that $1 billion mark. I think it needs to make $500 million. It really needs to make $500 million to be considered a success and to really get a sequel, I think, also. So it'd be really interesting to see, if we get a sequel. I would love to see a sequel. I want to see, a solid trilogy come out of this, and maybe more than that. I would like to see kind of an ongoing series of films where, almost like the Marvel films. You don't really need to stop them. I think Ghostbusters is strong enough for that as well. It really has kind of almost like The Walking Dead. Like you could do spin-off, like Fear the Walking Dead. I'd like to see other spins on the Ghostbuster, because I think they have a solid world. I think, it's going in the right direction. It's a very unusual genre. It's a comedy horror, which is almost unheard of, just really unusual. And, so it's just really kind of unusual kind of situation. And I really like the film a lot. I definitely suggest people go see it. What else was in there? It was a pretty interesting film. I thought the special effects were really good. I like the way the ghosts look. I definitely like the weapons. I like the combat. I like the action. There was this one scene where they actually go to a metal concert, and there's a cameo by Ozzy Osbourne. There was some really visceral combat with this demon ghost. It's pretty neat. Yeah, it was really good. If I do have any complaints, one, I think it's an A+ film, definitely better than the original. The only thing I missed that I think they could have done, I'm not sure if there was any ability to fix this, but I don't think there was any replacement for Rick Moranis. So Rick Moranis, he was one of my absolute favorite parts of the first film. He did such a good job for portraying his role, and I didn't see anybody who had that kind of humor in this film, that kind of cadence that Rick Moranis brought to it. But I just kind of missed that. So I'm a big fan of Rick Moranis. I believe he retired from acting and really kind of stepped back to, care for his kids a bit more. I think his wife died. And so, there's certainly good reasons why he wouldn't return for this film. And, so I definitely get that. And that's okay. People can make choices like that, and I totally respect that. I did miss Rick Moranis in the film. If there's any way to put him into the second film, I would love that, to see if there's, if they could bring him in. I know that's going to be hard, but I really liked how they, and also, one other thing is I loved how, Sigourney Weaver, Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, they were all in the film. I thought that was really special, that they were kind of giving their blessing to the film by being in it, and it allowed them to be part of the whole structure. And I'd love to see them in the second film. And I think this is a great film, but I also think it is a strong foundation for a great trilogy of films. And I'm really excited to see more from Melissa McCarthy. I think she did just seeing her acting talent and seeing what she's able to do is going to be really exciting. And I'm really excited just to see where this goes. So if you get a chance, go out and check out Ghostbusters 2016. Really good film. I really enjoyed it. Very funny. A lot of good action. And I think you'll enjoy it as well. Take care.